Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of stampinwithcandace.com and February 2026 episode of Scrapped. Today, we are going to be featuring kits collections. If you don't know what those are, there are a lot of them, and I think it's every other month we get new ones and then some retire and stuff, but they're pre-done kits that Stampin' Up offers, and you can get them. They do have scrapbooking ones. Let me clarify. We are using the card making ones. Some of them are also like they have like a flower one and some other fun little crafts and some tags and stuff. But our goal was to take one of the card ones and show you how you can use the element to turn it into a scrapbook page. We also have our paper pumpkin kits. Those ones are kind of a surprise. They're different every single month. You sign up, it's a subscription, and I think we are featuring those next month. uh, if you look behind me here, that was my let's see, February one that I turned into a scrapbook page. I do have that, I believe, on my blog, if not for sure on my Facebook and my um Instagram. But I'm going to switch cameras here and get started and show you what I have to share today. So I decided to use the Adventure Awaits kit, which you get stuff to make three different little cards here. This is a non-stamping kit. Some of our kits have stamping, some of them don't. So let me show you what the kit makes. So it does, like I said, make three different cards. Super cute. You could easily change this out, put happy birthday, add a stamp of whatever you would like. So here's the little enjoy the journey. And of course, you do not have to follow the exact ones. I have not made something else with them as far as cards, but I do technically have one more set left. So I'm going to show you what I did with my scrapbook here. So I only used some of the elements, but I did something kind of a little fun. So this right here um, is actually one of the cards. If I lift it up close, you can see the score line here, which I'm not worried about it. And I've just cut it. I was able to cut it in three sections, and I have just a little this one left that I haven't used. I can use it on a card or something. And I am using just two pieces of the what's the color? I think it's Timid Tiger, and this is just the double-sided. So if you can see, there's like a couple little I specifically I cut it off on these ones, but I left it on this one so that I can kind of just tuck it right underneath there and make sure I get that lined up. I did leave it long on the side right here. I'm just going to cut that off here now that I have it lined up. Well, I will wait till I have the stuff on here because I don't want to flip the page over at the moment. So I did a couple of other little things. I didn't have any of the 12 by 12 in the Coastal Cabana, which is the matching color with this one. And I really wanted that color on here. So I did an 8.5 by 11 and I cut it, but it's okay because my design, it worked fine for. And then this is just a piece of 12 by 12 black. And I did add a tiny bit of stamping. I used this little design in the Boardwalk Fun because it actually matches some of the designs in this. And so I was like, oh, that will work for a little bit of stamping. I didn't like this just completely plain. We're going to hurry in. Oh, of course. I run out. I should have double checked that first. Sorry. We'll hurry and grab a new one here. maybe decides to come out here. All right, at least it's a quick, easy switch here. So I'm going to place one of them right here, and then I'm going to place this one here on the, and like I said, it's okay, there's a gap because of what I'm going to be doing. And you'll notice that this doesn't line up completely, which is fine because I am going to be putting, that's the kind of the purpose of this strip here. I do want to make sure that these two are lining up fairly well. They don't have to be perfect. It looks like they're a tiny bit off, but they should be okay. Because what I'm going to do is I am going to take this little background one here, and forgot I want it slipped. Yes, I do want it slipped down underneath here. So we're going to lift this up a little bit, thankfully, hopefully, maybe. And we're going to just stick it about right here. So it's covering up that gap right there. We can go up just a little bit higher with it. I forgot we have the black on there, so we can go just a tiny bit higher. Put that one there. And I'm going to get that one very straight. So we'll fix it real quick. There we go. And then we're going to add this black piece. And this is the two-toned, so you can see that it's a little bit lighter on this other side here. I did think about doing like some white little lines down it, but just decided I didn't really want to. I forgot to put dimensionals on this one. I was trying to be a little bit prepared. I'm going to add the tree here at the end, and then I'm going to add my a little truck here. So you could use this for any kind of fun, like road trip adventure. My plan for this is actually a little bit different. We have a, what's it called? It's called the cruise in that we have like every year here in our valley around uh, the 4th of July. That's what the word I'm looking for. And it's all these classic cars. So I thought these cars would make a really cute page for the cruise in. However, one of the things about the cruise in, we take tons and tons of pictures. And I don't necessarily want to have all of the pictures on a scrapbook page because a lot of them are the classic cars, but I thought the envelopes would be really fun to make a little pocket. So I'm going to show you how I've done this. So this is a little pocket, and we're going to pretend like some of these are pictures here that I've printed out. We'll just pretend. And I can put them in this pocket, and then when I put this on here, we're going to add the ribbon to it, and then you'll be able to pull it out and be able to get to those pictures. You could add a piece here for like some fun journaling as well if you wanted to, or you could add like this across it. I haven't 100% decided, but I just wanted to tie that black in. So what I did is I took an 8.5 by 11 and I scored it at 3.5 and cut it in half here to make my pocket. And we're just gonna use our bone folder on that. And then what I have my envelope, and I just cut the end off, and I decided to switch the tops of the two envelopes. So I've used two of the envelopes, and then I cut the little edge off here. So if you were to look at the envelope here, I've cut it so it's just kind of straight down rather than what's the word I'm looking for? rather than curved because I wanted the black to show up behind it. And then I just took some of my glue here. We're going to line this one up on here so that they're lined up the same. And just kind of lined it up right there. So now I want this to stay closed. So when I put it in here, it would, but if you pull this out, I don't want it coming apart completely. So I did take some tear and tape and I just kind of did it along the side. Again, you don't have to do that. But I just wanted to keep it so it was really an actual pocket was my thought process there. So we're going to make that and then we can slide it into here. And I just thought these envelopes were really cute to still add in to the thing. And so I was just going to put a little picture here and then I can still have my design there so you can see it. And we're going to put this one here and then we're going to pull it out. Take these out of here. And I just have some of that Timid Tiger ribbon. We're going to put it. And I want to make sure, because see how this sticks out over the top there, I want to make sure that I'm down on the black. And I'm actually just going to use a stapler so that it stays fairly flat. And then I can stick it in there. But that way, when I put it in my page protector, I can get it to go back into the thing. There we go. When I put it into my page protector, it will stick out above the page protector on the top here, and you can slide it out to be able to get those pictures out and any journaling that you want to do. So it's kind of a fun way to add some extra pictures. I just used some of these to kind of give me an idea of what I might want to do layout wise for other pictures. Again, I wanted to keep this very, very simple. One of the last ones I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I love these little sayings. I just thought they were really cute to go with these cars here. So I'm just going to add that one and then I can add another picture here if I want to. And then this one over here, we're going to do the same thing. So we already have this one done and we are going to add our ribbon into the center here. And it can slide into this pocket, maybe. All right, we can add that. We'll wait to put that one on for a second here until I have all these done. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. I have the additional part from this one over here. And I just cut it up. So, you know, you can always look at all of your different elements and see how they can be used in a different way. Same thing with cards. I have done lots of different cards where I have taken apart the elements. Um, I have cut the um, I've cut the envelope before. I've cut this. So instead of it's one card, I've cut it and then I can make two cards by attaching it to a different card or cutting it up. So there's lots of fun things that you can do to make your kits last a little bit longer if you're wanting to get more out of them or change them. You can also always add in a let's see, do we need to? Yes, we need to put this one down underneath. So this one has this little road on it, and I did not want the road really like on my page at all. And so, but I still wanted this to sit in about the same place. So this one is really going to go under here quite a bit more. than my other one did. Lift that up just a little bit. And I need to make sure I add this one in here. But I don't want to go so low that I'm not covering up that gap. So it's kind of like a little bit tricky, but it should be about the same width as that, so it covers it up and it still sits about where I want it to. Can we move it up just a little bit higher, I think, so that it's going to fit in there. There we go. Add some adhesive to this one, and I can kind of go over the edge there. And we can add in our little cars. And I've just put the cars together the way that they are in the kit. Kind of cool. It has a little bit of vellum back behind there, so it creates the windows on there. This one obviously doesn't have it. There are some things you could put the little what is it? The little luggage. You could add the luggage, especially if you're doing more of a like a road trip. This would make a really cute page for a road trip that you have lots of fun pictures with here, especially if you're going across country. You could even add in the other one on there. And we're going to add this little guy here. And let's see, I believe we had, so like I said, it's called the Cruisin'. So I cut this one. It says Cruisin' to Another Year. I just cut Cruisin' out and added it onto here for this one. And then I figured I could do one of the bigger pictures, like all of us at the event. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to this one and pop it up instead of leaving it down. I left that one down, but I'm going to pop this one up. And you'll notice there's no other like big stamping. If anything, I may stamp Cache Valley Cruisin' on here or something like that, unless I decide to change it to a road trip one. But super simple, fast, quick page that you can do. So there's the first one. Again, this pulls out so you can keep all those extra pictures in there. And then there's that one finished. You can see it all finished. A fun way to use one of the kits to create a scrapbook page. So hopefully you enjoyed that and got some inspiration and new ideas. Make sure, like I said, you can check out my blog to see other inspiration. I do go live every Monday on there with different ideas. And a lot of times those ones are card making, but a lot of tips, tricks, things to do. And be sure to check out my friends. There should be a link on my YouTube to all the different scrap. You can check out all of the ones. We've almost been doing it a year now, so there's lots of fun episodes on there. Thank you again for joining me, and I hope you have a Stamptastic night. Bye-bye.